Greetings everyone, thank you for joining me. It's Manley here, and today we're going to be we're going to kind of be building on a video that I released a couple of days ago of Daniel Caesar and Jacob Collier, their song Time Alone With You. There was so much great things in that video musically that I wanted to unpack a bit further, and if you haven't watched that video, please do check it out. I'll leave a link in the description section below. So we're going to be looking at this song. Starting off, it starts in the key of D. Now the first takeaway that I really wanted to highlight to you guys was the use of sus chords. So in the verse, I've got the words up here. So if you want to get the sunshine, so the vibe is like this. It's got this kind of like J Dilla kind of vibe. So the words are, if you want to get sunshine all night, walking on the rooftop, moonlight, I'ma go get some time alone with you. So ultimately you got the D, which goes down to our C sus. Now I wanted to show you these sus chords because they're really, really interesting and really a warm, I describe them as a warm hug. And it's really easy to create this. Now in the context of D, this is a D major chord, the D major scale, excuse me. So in relation to this scale, this C that we go to with the bass isn't in the key, the diatonic scale notes, it's not there. And by creating this sus chord, we've also got a clash in terms of that F. That F is not in the diatonic scale at all. It normally would be F sharp, and also that B flat or A sharp isn't in there either. So already you can see that the world, the verse foundation, although it's in relation to D, but you can tell that Jacob's really opened up the harmony. Now to work out any sus chord, it can simply be created, and the thing I noticed in this video as well, in the original video, is that it's more so the backing vocal parts that really bring across this chord. Now the key notes in this sus chord, simply put, if we have C as a reference point, because the bass does go down, because in the track, as I was saying, it's mainly just two chords to start off with. If you want to go get some, simple as that. So bass is just going D to the C, and D. So when we move from the D, the bass is going to drop to the C, but on the right hand you can think about playing any sus chord as such. Go down a tone from where we're at, so in this case we're in relation to C. Going down a tone will take us to B flat, and play a major chord of that. So in this case it's going to be a B flat major chord, and that's how we create that sus sound. It's very open, and you can play that anywhere. And I really wanted to just highlight that. If I wanted to play a D sus, for example, just in this particular context, just for some reason I wanted to go to D sus, I'd go down a tone on my right hand to C, and that would be my sus chord right there. And these are really, really good chords to know, especially in the context of 5-1. Now granted, Jacob's using it in relation to chord 1 going down to flat 7. That C note represents a flat 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flat. But they work perfectly. You can even hear it. Even this chord, if I play it, that lends itself perfectly to which would be a 5-1 in the key of F. Now granted, the song is about to move, when we move from the verse to the chorus, it is actually in relation to F. So maybe you could argue that there's a bit of foresight, a bit of musical planning that Jacob's doing, quite possibly, in terms of setting up that verse to have this sus feature, which is essentially the 5 of where we're going to in the chorus. Yeah, but those sus chords, I really just wanted to highlight. They're just so, honestly, they're so warm, and they're a very straightforward concept to have in mind. With the right hand, just go down a tone and play a major of that. If I say I wanted to do a 5-1, for example, in the key of C, that would be here. And let me actually change just for this example. So on the screen you'll see a C, so in the key of C. So the 5 would be the G. So all I need to do is play the G on the left hand, right hand goes down the tone to F. There's my 5 suster, as opposed to just a G major, which has its place, but this creates a bit of ambiguity, but it's not it's not to the extent where it sounds, too ambiguous, too harsh, too abstract. Yeah, it's just enough to take us to, yeah. So that's the main thing I wanted to highlight to start with. So the use of sus chords. Now what's interesting, there's kind of like three main key centers in terms of the verse, the chorus, and the bridge. So the verse is in D. The chorus has stuff in relation to the F blues scale for the chorus. Feel free to check out my video where I break down more of what's happening in terms of the chorus section. But I want to move next to the bridge, which is in A flat. So essentially you've got this diminished feature. The verse starts in D, then we move to F, and then we're about to move to A flat. And the reason why I wanted to highlight the bridge, because we have more of this kind of sus idea employed. So check it out. So I'm going to switch to the key of A flat, and the words are where is, oh yeah, all night star bright shines down on me. Then it moves here. It's all good, all right. You're all I see. All right. So at this point we're in the key of A flat. So we start on the 6, so F minor. Yeah. So quite functional. We're going from the 6, then we go down to the 4, playing it as a major 9. So all night star bright shines down on me. So good, so right. You're all I. The finishing on B flat major 7. That's even interesting in itself, because that A is not in relation to the, neither is the D. That's a very interesting chord to kind of throw in there. Once again, we're kind of, if you remember that 5 sus chord that we had on that right hand, essentially we've got that B flat triad that's coming across again. So you could maybe argue that there might be some, definitely some intentional musical weaving of this chord in particular, this B flat, in relation to that D that I showed you about before from the verse, which had a sus chord. That's a B flat triad, and likewise now we're in the key of A flat. B flat. Interesting, but I digress. So what's interesting is some of these passing chords that Jacob does. So I'll play you the kind of foundation. So it's in 2 parts. So it starts as such. So all night star bright shines down on me, to the 4. It's all good, it's all right. You're all I see. And then it moves on back to the F. At times we may find our hearts go heavy. Then they do a passing, like a sharp 4, and I'm going to come to that in a moment. I'm just going to give you the foundation, then back to the 4. It's all good, it's all right. You're all I need. Yeah, it finishes right there. Yeah, so it goes from like a B flat sus implied. I'm going to put that in there, and then to a D. It's actually a D sus 13. So once again, you can see these sus chords coming through once again. So without me pausing, let me just play it through. So the foundation. So all night shines down on me, to the D flat. It's all good, it's all right. You're all I see. And then at times we may find our hearts grow heavy, passing. It's all good, it's all right. Sus, you're all I need. Yeah, so once again, these sus chords are coming back in the picture in relation to B flat, to create a B flat sus. Remember what I said before? Go down the tone and play a major of that on the right hand, a major triad. You've got that sus right there. Likewise on the D. Now that D is interesting because once again we're pulling outside of the diatonic scale of A flat. So that sharp 4 note is completely outside, but it sounds beautiful, especially with the lyrics. It works perfectly. Now what also is interesting for this one, it's actually sounds like a kind of, you can put like a sus 13 on this at the end if you chose to. So that's just adding the B in this case, but the sus would be more than enough, and this video is very much about highlighting the use of sus chords. Yeah, wonderful. I'm gonna play it one more time. So all night star bright shines down on me, it's all good, it's all right. You're all I see. And then at times we may find our hearts go heavy. I'm gonna get to that one. It's all good, it's all right. You're all I need. All right, so that sharp 4, that's another interesting passing one. So we end on that chord, but as you noticed before in the second half when I had at times we may find our hearts go heavy, got this kind of altered sharp 5 sharp 9 on D. So once again passing from this sharp 4, but rather than just staying there, we're actually passing. So from sharp 4 down to that D flat, that's a passing chord. But that's actually very interesting to know, to go to from chord 6, putting in that sharp 4 to take us down. That's nice, because to start with, all night, star bright, we just stay there. It shines down on me, then it moves to the D flat. Yeah, but then for the second half, at times we may find our hearts grow heavy. Bit of word painting as well. That word heavy, put a little crunchy chord on there, and then to pass. That's actually really interesting. Really interesting. So that's fine. Now, as the song progresses, that bridge section, there's some reharm, and it takes the sus idea to another level. It's kind of like this: all night, star bright, shines down on me. Yeah, I have to show you that. So one more time. All night, because remember before we just had all night, star bright, shines down on me. Granted, we might have a passing for the second half, but fundamentally we're just going from F minor to D flat. But now we're going to have all night, star bright, shines down on me. So he's starting with the 6 as before, da, 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 but then he's got this G flat or F sharp major 9 to go to the 4, then go to E flat sus. Now I really want to look at that E flat sus, so I'm going to leave that F sharp for a moment. So we're just going to go all night, star bright, shines down on me, because remember we're finishing here on this sus chord, but all this chord really is, if I take away the left hand, is just chord 4. So once again you can see the employment of sus chords, because before we had chord 4. Now by just moving the bass up a tone, we've got a new chord but with the same roll, but it just sounds so warm. So that's another option. So rather than just doing chord 4, you can take that left hand up a tone, keep chord 4 on the right hand, and you got a sus chord. And these sus chords work so well. So as you can see in this context, once again, that's the 5. That's a 5 of A flat, and these sus chords really do well and work well in the context of kind of, implying 5 chords. Not only 5, but they do really kind of rest. They kind of act as a bit of an anchor. But even though we're not quite home, but it does sound it feels to me anyway very warm and like accepting. So having these sus chords, especially of a 5 chords, really do work a treat. So let me just give you a bit of comparison, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you do, please do give it a like. Please do give it a like, give it a thumbs up. So here we go. So the bridge one more time. So I'll give you how it starts, so the basic version. So all night, star bright, shines down on me, to the 4, the E flat. So it's all good, it's all right, you're all I see. Okay, now let's do the second half. So at times we may find our hearts grow heavy, passing. It's all good, it's all right, you're all I need. Now I'm going to give you the first section again with that reharm option, which had the flat 7. I'll show you that. So it's all night, star bright, shines down on me. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That is just so good. That is so good. So yeah, guys, I just wanted to just give you some more, kind of good ingredients to employ in terms of these sus chords, in terms of your music creation, that I found super helpful, coming from this song from Daniel Caesar and Jacob Collier, Time. So now that we've gone through this in relation to the key of A flat, it's really important to be able to employ this all over the keyboard in all keys, so that you're never ever limited. So let me give you some examples. If we have a chord progression that goes from chord 6 to chord 4, say in the key of B flat, what would that look like? So let's look at that. Let me change the key center. So we're going to go to B flat. So we're going to have a chord progression that has chord 6, so in relation to B flat. This is our scale. So we're going to go from chord 6 to chord 4. So we're going to do the same chords. So it would be like this in relation to the key of B flat. So shines down on me, down to chord 4. You're all I. 2 major. Now back to the 6. Passing on the sharp 4, which will be there. Going down to our 4. So it's so important. So now that we've covered this in the key of A flat, so now we've covered this in the original key. That's great, but it's so important to be able to employ these ideas all across the piano. So in this case, we're going to be looking at a couple more examples, looking at the same bridge idea, going from the 6 to the 4, but incorporating these passing chords. Let's go to the key of C to start with. So the bridge chord progression fundamentally was chord 6. So in relation to the key of C, it's the major scale. So we're going to go from 6 and with the words all night. So all night, star bright, shines down on me. Then we need to move to chord 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the F chord, which will be, we'll do a major 9 on it. It's all good, it's all right, and you're all I see. That was a major 7 on the chord 2 that we took from the key of A flat originally. So it goes from chord 6 to chord 4. So when we start employing some of these rehum options, it's going to get interesting. So it's really, really important to be able to know your keys, and relating it to the major scale, in this case of C, is super helpful. So we'll get to some of the rehum stuff in a moment. Let's just get our foundation. So I'm going to play it down octave. So here we go. Star bright, all night, star bright, shines down on me. Down. Here we go. It's all good, it's all right, you're all I see. Great. Then for the second half, now at this point we're going to go from at times we may find our hearts grow heavy. So we had that kind of that altered, that sharp 5, sharp 9 going down to the 4. It's all good, it's all right. And then we had a, what do we have? Oh yeah, it was a sus on the 2. So once again, knowing our sus chord, this is the 2 note, going down the tone, and then going to our sharp 4 as a sus. Yeah, so let's set that up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All night, star bright, shines down on me. 4. It's all good, it's all right, you're all I major. Okay, and then at times we may find our hearts grow heavy. So it's all good, it's all right, you're all I need. Wonderful. Now when the second round comes around with that rehum, we had our 6, all night, star bright, major 7 on the flat 7. So B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat, major, and then star shines down on me. So that's where we didn't just go straight to the 4. We moved from the 4 and created a sus chord. Let me give you that again. So all night, star bright, flat 7, shines down on me. Yeah. So this is why it's really important to be able to employ these ideas all over, because it helps your music making. Let's use another example. Let's go to the key of E. So in this key, we are going to be starting on the 6. So fundamentally, all night, star bright, shines down on me. Chord 4. Let me actually give you the major scale before we start actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's our major scale. So the 6 is right here. So all night, star bright, shines down on me. Chord 4. It's all good, it's all right, you're all I see. Major 2, yeah, major 7, or major 9, then back to at times we may find our hearts grow heavy. That sharp 4 altered, going down to it's all good, it's all right, sus on the 2, you're all I, sus on the sharp 4. Yeah, then when we come back around, all night, star bright, flat 7, so D major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flat and a major of that, shines down, chord 4, and then our sus. Yeah. So let me just play through a couple more examples. Let's go to the key of A. Let's go to the key of A. So one of the keys to be able to do this effectively is to really have a clear idea of your major scale, and then as you can see, I'm just applying the theory of the numbers to the scale. So I know I'm starting on chord 6. All night, star bright, shines down on me. Chord 4 is next. It's all good, it's all good. Your all I major 2, and then back to 6. At times we may find our hearts grow heavy. Sharp 4 down to our it's all good, it's all right. And then sus on the 2. You're all I need, sus. And then for the second round, all night, star bright, flat 7, shines down 4 to our sus. So essentially, what I'm thinking about is the major scale and placing the correct chords to the scale notes. So knowing, that that we start on chord 6, we're going down to chord 4. So all night, star bright, shines out on me, right here, chord 4, da 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 da, major 2, da da. Okay, so it's major 7, then back to the 6, da da ba da, sharp 4, which I know is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, sharp, and I'll have to play an altered chord. So it's really, really, really important to be able to, in addition to knowing all your major scales, but also knowing all your chord placements in all 12 options. So that's a major 7 here, for example. So I know fundamentally to start with into the chord progression, you have a 6, a 4, and a major 2, and a major 7. So being able to play all my minors, for example, in this case, a minor 9, all my options, I've got it all. I've got it all. Likewise for the D, then a major 7, which will also be helpful for the B, which is also like a major 7 chord as well. Being able to know all your placements, A flat, that's really, really important. And in so doing, then you're never ever limited to a particular key. You don't want to get to the point where you're just able to just learn a song in one key and then that's the only place that you can play it. That's not ultimately going to grow and develop you as a musician. It's really important to be able to apply these to all 12 keys so that you're never ever limited, and in so doing that can enable you to be at your optimum in terms of your creativity, not just applying these ideas in one particular key to one song. You can apply it essentially in different songs in any key. So that's the place that I would really encourage you to get to. So yeah, I hope this video has been super helpful. If it has, please do give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm super grateful.